Suppose you're navigating through nature by relying on a map. The map seems to give some general direction, but what if it has a higher resolution? You start to realize there are some rivers that you need to cross, and there are 2 hills in the park. How you wish you had the details earlier.
When it comes to adapting to the impacts of climate change on Singapore and Southeast Asia, government agency requires detailed climate information to inform their decision making. However, global climate models, or GCMs, are unable to provide such details due to their low resolution.
Climate models simulate the physical processes such as flow of energy and water vapor in the Earth's climate system. Generally, GCMs have a resolution of about 150 kilometers, meaning Earth's atmosphere is divided into grid cells with about 150 kilometers along each side. As the grid cells are far too large, GCMs are unable to distinguish small features such as hills. GCMs also cannot capture rainfall and temperature extremes, which is essential for climate change adaptation in Southeast Asia. As Singapore is smaller than 1 grid cell, it cannot even be seen as a separate island.
There is a need to translate outputs from GCMs into a much smaller scale. This process is called downscaling. The downscaling method used in Singapore's 3rd National Climate Change Study, or V3, is called dynamical downscaling, a sophisticated method to produce regional climate projections. The climate simulation requires massive supercomputing resources, involving Singapore's most advanced supercomputers at the National Supercomputing Centre.
In dynamical downscaling, the climate information from a GCM is input into a high-resolution regional climate model, or RCM in short, that covers a region, which is most of Southeast Asia, in V3. The process of dynamical downscaling begins with a GCM providing the initial conditions such as winds and temperature to the RCM. Then, the RCM runs and simulates the regional climate system, but with much smaller grid cells than the GCM. The simulation tells us how climate information within the region changes with time. Throughout the simulation, climate information from the GCM is routinely fed into the RCM at the boundaries, so that regional simulations are in sync with global simulations.
For Singapore, the downscaling process in V3 is performed in 2 phases.
First, the coarse resolution GCM outputs are downscaled to a 8 km resolution for most of Southeast Asia. Next, the high-resolution regional information is input into a local RCM at 2 km resolution to produce very high-resolution projections for Singapore, Peninsular Malaysia, and Sumatra. The very high-resolution data will then enable government agencies to better understand the local impacts of climate change and aid them in climate adaptation planning.
Interested in using V3 data for climate impact studies, or simply curious about Singapore's future climate? Email us or visit our website.